power of pants out. Got it!
Hello everyone and welcome to my 1,000 subscriber special. Now, if you don't know, I reached 1,000 subscribers, I think like 3 weeks ago, maybe a month, I don't remember. I've been so excited to make this video, and I've been procrastinating a little bit because I didn't know how to do it exactly, and I've been planning it for a while, but I didn't know when to do it, and this is the perfect time now. This video is going to be about my illness, mostly. Basically just all the stuff that I've had through the years, like how I became sick and what I have, because I get those questions a lot. And now if I have those questions, I'll just put them into this video and say, hey, check this out, because this is what all the... I'm gonna have to take a couple breaks during this video because I am out of breath. I have a semi-timeline here because I'm terrible at remembering anything. Like on Snapchat, I'll tell someone something and then they'll answer, and then I don't remember what they were answering to because the other message was erased. It's terrible. So basically, we'll start with the basics. What? I was born in 1991 at 3:33 in the morning. That's why 3 is my lucky number. I don't believe in luck. I am Irish, half Irish, so anyway, yes, I was born a half Irish baby, and then the Puerto Rican side just took over me, and then it made my hair black instead of red. I was born a healthy, normal baby, normal. It just, I grew up, of course, I was healthy. I just, you know, I was kind of always an anxious child, but I grew up very healthy. My mom and my biological father divorced when I was around 3 years old, and I lived with my mom alone for many years until my stepdad, which is, I call dad, he came and he married my mom, and that was around 2000. So after that, my sister was born in 2002, and that is actually where this whole like journey began. So after my sister was born, fast forward 1 year, I started feeling really sick around Halloween. It was right after I got a flu shot. And they're like, oh, that's kind of normal, you get kind of sick after a flu shot, but I was having all the problems. Diarrhea, throwing up, everything. Stop it, phone, I'm trying to tell a story. Basically, I just couldn't, why do I keep saying basically? What's wrong with me? Do I not have vocabulary? Did I not learn in the dictionary? So I kept vomiting and having diarrhea constantly, like I just couldn't stop, and it's very dangerous because you can get dehydrated and just basically die from that. My mom and dad took me in and to the doctor. They tried all these things. They tried for celiac. They saw if I was lactose intolerant. Celiac, by the way, is a disease where you have trouble digesting like gluten and stuff like that. Stop! Oh, thanks, Clip. I got a question for my Q&A at the end of this video. So I lost a ton of weight during this time, and it was really terrible. I don't know how much weight, I have to check on that, but it was a ton in a short amount of time. So my mom and dad were really concerned. I was too. I mean, this was around Halloween, and I really wanted to dress up as Neo from the Matrix, and we even got the glasses, and anyways, it's not important. So finally they did another test, and they found out that I had Crohn's disease. Crohn's disease is an inflammatory bowel disease that affects the lining of your entire digestive tract. So from like up here where your esophagus is all the way out to the Uranus. I'm not gonna make a joke because I'm not a child, even though I look like one. Darn, put it up. It's an autoimmune disease, which also means, fudge, I gotta look that up. Hey Siri, what does autoimmune mean?
Organism against its own healthy cells and tissues.
An autoimmune basically means my body revolted against itself and it starts attacking itself thinking it's sick. There's like no way to kind of stop that. There's been theories, but they immediately gave me a steroid called prednisone. Now this is important because from prednisone I developed all sorts of problems. I had osteoporosis, which is your bones become weak and brittle and they break easy. You get multiple fractures, which are just little tiny cracks in your bone, and that's why I'm hunched over, because I kept, every time I had pain and spasms, I'd kind of hunch, and then it just kind of my bones weakened and then they stayed like that. So I don't know if that's ever gonna get better, but I'll see. Darn, my phone fell. That's a heavy phone. So that actually came from the side effect from the prednisone. I also had a small mass in my pituitary gland, which is right here, and the mass is kind of like a a tumor, but it's non-benign, so no cancer in it. It's just this massive like tissue, not massive but mass of. It also gave me severe anxiety, panic attacks. It took my testosterone from whatever level it was at normally to a 0, which is weird. I should just basically my manliness, I don't know. So around 2004 was when I was finally officially diagnosed with Crohn's disease. Around 2005 I developed an abscess on my, and they had to take that out. I was given a feeding tube in around 2006, and I had TPN around that time as well, which if you look at my current vlogs, I had both of those again. And 2007, my doctor ran out of options, and we went to Vermont, and they were willing to do a bowel resection. So they took 3.5 feet of my small intestine and a little bit of my large, and then closed me back up, and I never got better from that. Usually you have a remission after those. Remission means you get better for a little bit. I was never better. I didn't wake up the same. I didn't have an appetite for a long time. I didn't gain weight. I actually started slowly going down until like where I am now. So fast forward to 2012, I developed severe agoraphobia and panic attacks. There were many instances where I felt anxious or panicky, but this was like, it was getting so severe where I felt like the only thing that could help it was to get back to my home. And even in the house I started having anxiety. Like when my mom would leave, I'd be like, where is she? And then I'd have these OCD problems. So these started happening, and then I was prescribed Xanax, which is a very harsh drug. It has a lot of side effects as well, but it actually helped at the time, and I was able to go see The Hobbit, which I was dying to see. I mean, I am one of the biggest, not one of the biggest, I don't know, like, I don't speak Elven, but I love Lord of the Rings. I just love it. That's why I named my puppy Frodo. We were thinking about what to do because that was huge. I was affecting my health a lot, just being in the house all the time. I wanted to go out, but at the same time I was so afraid to. So we found this DVD of, it was like a Christian conference, and they had a doctor called Dr. Bernoulli, and he was a DO, which is a doctor of osteopathy, I think. He does basically, he has everything qualifications of a doctor, plus the extra benefit of being like a natural doctor, so he uses like natural remedies and stuff. So we, from that point on, my mom was determined in early 2013 to do a fundraiser, get an RV, because an RV was kind of like a house on wheels, and I'd feel more comfortable in that than in a car, and I could have all my stuff around me and stuff. So we had the fundraiser. My aunt and one of our friends helped like put it together, and my mom, and then the RV was donated by a good friend of ours, Carolyn and Jean Langley, and Richard Tolo and Margie Diaz were the people that helped with the fundraiser. Was my aunt and our family friend. The RV was awesome, but we had to do a lot of work in it because they said it's kind of messed up, but you can have it. It's all we have to give, and we were so thankful for them. But it ended up having like these carpenter ants and stuff, and my dad was like in there every minute of the day, like scooping it out. My mom was in there every time she could. Even Rich was over there, my aunt Titi Millie. Everyone was in there just scooping out all this stuff, gutting it, and then putting everything back in, even to the last day when we were leaving. So we left. My mom packed everything of mine in that RV, like everything, just stuffed it all in there that she could put, and everything else we left in that house. And we're like, you know, we're gonna be moving probably soon anyway, so everything left in the house, Dad is gonna have to come back and work, and we're just gonna go in the RV with him, and then he can fly back to New York and pack everything up. So we went on our way, and then 30 miles from our house we started smelling and hearing these weird sounds, and I guess the exhaust or something in the front. It basically, if we kept going, all of us could have smelt it, fell gently asleep, and then a car would have went off the road and we could have died. So anyways, that was a fun time. So me bawling my eyes out, we went back to the house, slept in the RV overnight next to the house, and then and my mom packed all my stuff in this minivan, and she had to leave all her stuff because she wanted me to feel comfortable. Thank you, Mom, I love you. So then we drove, met Dr. Bernoulli in 3 days from then. It was September 9th, I believe, and that was 2013, and wow, so he started trying to help me. I got a testosterone cream that I was putting on. That was doing well, but of course, knowing me, I wasn't following the diet like I was supposed to. I wasn't taking the supplements like I was supposed to. And the supplements, there were so many different ones and so many different times a day, like take this 2 times a day, 3 times a week, not on Sundays, but also on Sundays if it's just leap year. I don't know, it was just like, ugh. That's where I started going downhill again, and my anxiety and panic only went higher after I developed C. diff. I had a tooth extraction. The guy put way too much stuff on me, like to make me sleepy, and I almost died. They had to like resuscitate me, and I remember them putting like a breathing tube down my throat, and he basically told the EMPs to wait and let him finish the job. And if I could have sit up, I would have just slapped the guy or something. But I was like, are you kidding me? But I was like in this, like, in the light, you know, when they say I see the light, it was like, Connor, can you hear me? And I was like, and you just kind of want to fall asleep. But I was like, I have to fight for my life. So after that, they brought me to the hospital and they said, yeah, you are screwed up. My whole face was swollen from that trauma, and you have C. diff. Congratulations. C. diff is an inflammation in the colon of the bacteria. And I'm gonna try to pronounce this. It's called Clostridium difficile. Oh, that's like Spanish, difficile. And that's just shortened by C. diff. So I developed C. diff 2 more times in Tennessee while we were there. And in this time we moved around and whatever. So I'm in the process of editing this huge long video, and I completely forgot looking through the pictures that our good friend Donna Merritt, which was such a huge person in our lives in Tennessee. And thank you so much for everything, Donna, you've done. She was a mentor. She gave us a place to stay through her ministry, through the church. And she was a friend. She was a mentor. She was just a wonderful person to be around, and always happy, and very godly woman. So thank you, Donna Merritt. We love you more, and we'll see you soon. And then my dad quit his job over there in New York State, moved with us to Tennessee. He started working for the post office for a whole year. Then he found a job in North Carolina, which is where we kind of wanted to move. And we moved there, and we're here. And things were kind of normal. I was still pretty anxious after like being in the hospital with the C. diff, because they put tons of antibiotics in me, and you can actually get C. diff from having too many antibiotics. It's one of the ways, or you can get it from contamination. So while we were here, it was about a year, and I was doing okay, but I'd get these pains every once in a while that would hurt. And I'd have to like lay down for a few, and then I'd feel like very bloated. And then last year it just kind of came to a head around October. It started getting worse and worse, and then November, and I had to eat less and less food. And then finally December we saw a doctor, and they did a lot of tests. And then January we found out that I had severe stricturing in my intestine. Actually, we didn't find that out. We just knew that I was very sick, and I needed to get to a real like hospital, and they admitted me right away. Got a TPN installed in me, which is I told you about that already. It's in my other vlogs. You can check those out. That was to keep me alive while they did more tests, and they found out I had severe stricturing, which is like just, it's in my other vlogs. Please don't make me explain it. Got that removed 2 months ago, I guess. Then I had a complication where they had an abscess in my stomach. They had to get that drained. Got the tubes out. Every tube is gone from me, and we are here now in America. Welcome to America. Speak English. That is the end of this journey, I guess. It's been a long journey, and that's this Sign Mom got me explains it pretty well. Find joy in the journey. And we have been trying, because it has been quite a journey. And the reason we named it Connor's Unexpected Journey, my Facebook page, is because that, like I said, The Hobbit was coming out. I read the book right before. My cousin and I were like racing to see who could read it the fastest. And it was just such a wonderful kind of parallel to my life. Like, Bilbo was at home, and he didn't want to leave his little hobbit hole, because he was actually like pretty anxious about it too. He didn't want to have like adventures. I loved going out, but it's just something happened, something changed. So I was like paralleling that, and when we got to see it at the theater, it was a very emotional moment that I was out of the house again, because I stayed in the house for months. I had not moved. I didn't even go past the steps near our house. So that's where we are, guys. It's been really emotional for me. You guys have been so amazing. The messages I get are just so full of passion and love, and I really appreciate you guys. If you haven't subscribed, I say basically join the journey. That's why I say ahoy, because I feel like I'm like a captain, and this is my crew, and you guys are all aboard with me, and I love all you guys so much. Of course, the one that deserves the most thanks is God, because He has kept me here alive. He is the reason I am here. He is the reason that I have not died or lost my mind, because I would have lost my mind completely if I did not have him there, and my mom praying over me all these times. I'm telling you, I would have lost it. I was not in a good place for a while, and I really don't deserve it. So you know, that's huge. This has been like really one of the hardest things I've gone through. I've gone through a lot of stuff that I felt was hard for me. I almost died taking another medication called Remicade. It was an infusion, and then the time with the tooth, and then I mean, just so many times I felt like I wasn't gonna wake up, and it was terrifying. But again, we made it to 1,000. I was grinding these videos. I have a lot of ideas for new videos, just some different stuff, and I want to start doing my gaming stuff again. But if you guys are not interested in that here anymore because of it's kind of taken over with vlogs, I might have to make a new channel, which I didn't really want to do, which I have one already on hold that will do that for that. So I'll check if I have any questions on my Q&A thing. But really quick, I did make 3 t-shirts, I believe. You can find them now, they're available. I don't know if there's more when this video goes up, but I have the one that is like my branding, the Cosmic Fox. He is my ambassador, I guess, for my channel. I made 2 designs and I had to decide on one of them. I made the SuperSkip one and the Cosmic Fox, and one of them was going to be my new username after Cartoon Kid 91. I wanted to grow out of that name because I'm not a kid, I'm 26. If you didn't know that, that's how old I am. It's surprising, I know. I chose SuperSkip64 because Skip was my biological father's nickname, and I wanted to inherit that when he passed away. Well, actually he killed himself. That's different. And I just love the Cosmic Fox. I love foxes. They're just so cool. I just love the design of them, because I say design because God is the one that created them. He did an amazing job with making foxes. And so I made him, and I just couldn't, I didn't want to let him go, so I decided I'll put him on this t-shirt and he'll be part of my branding. So that's that one. And then we have one that I created, which is one of my favorite Zelda games, the Link's Awakening, and the Ballad of the Windfish is my favorite Zelda song and probably one of my favorite songs of all time. The Windfish is just so cool. It's like, the design is amazing. I just love it. So that's me with the musical instruments and Link. And then the last one is one that my sister created. I asked everyone in my family to make a design for my t-shirt, anything they wanted for the 1,000 subscribers. It doesn't have to be related to the subscriber thing, but just anything. So she made 2. One that I asked her like to make, and then one by herself. So I put the one that she made by herself, and I think she did a great job. She's very talented. So I put my own little spin on it and made like outline colors instead of coloring it in. So I hope you guys like those t-shirts. I have them in long sleeve. The t-shirts are in 2 different categories because there's white lettering on it, and I couldn't put the white lettering on a white t-shirt, so I made a bunch of colors on the black one selection and the white. You'll see, just go check it out. Where's my phone? Oh yeah, it's on the floor. Okay, so quick Q&A, very quick because I only got 1 Q. But I just put up the question now on Twitter, but maybe I'll make a separate video. If you guys want to see that, like this video. If it gets to 20, I'll do one. If not, then I'll wait till it gets to 20 because it will maybe eventually, I don't know. At the Game Informer, which is my friend Cliff, he asked me what inspired me to do YouTube. It's actually a funny story that's not funny at all. What am I saying? So I was looking for a musical instrument to play for my homeschool when Mom started homeschooling me because of my sickness, and just because, you know, schools are getting out of whack over there. You know, the public school system's like crazy and insane. I was looking and I looked at ukuleles, and I love ukuleles. And then I found the ocarina in a Nintendo Power magazine ad, and I was like, wow, this is awesome. What is this? And it says an ocarina and it's easy to play. So I was like obsessed with it for months, and then I ordered one for my sister, a little fish one. And she had it for a while, and I started playing it, and then I got a little wooden one that's like a Mickey herself from behind. It's a wooden ocarina maker. And then finally I decided to bite the bullet and order myself an Ocarina of Time replica one. And that was so awesome. It was a little airy at first, so I kind of got discouraged when I started playing it because it wasn't, when you get to the high notes, it was like... So I hadn't played any Zelda games since till then, and then actually I knew about them, of course. I knew about Zelda. I had it on the gold cart for the Super Nintendo, or the NES. But then when I got into the Ocarina, that's when I started playing the Zelda games, and I got really into it, and the music and just the adventure. I loved all of it. So I was watching also this YouTuber called SuperMac18, I think his name was, and Fred, of course. I just really liked their style, and I just was like, I'm gonna make videos too. I want to try that. So I got this JVC camera from, I think it was QVC or HSN, and it said HDD, which I was like, oh, it's HD, but it was actually hard disk drive or something. It was stupid. So it was a camcorder, and I started recording myself, and I'm like, I'm gonna put up Ocarina videos like David Ramos, which is Doc Jazz 4. Really awesome guy. You gotta check him out if you haven't. He does amazing stuff. His backlog is amazing. So I was like, the first one I'm gonna do is I'm getting a Spencer, which is like the Apple of Ocarinas. It was so like, they're expensive, but they're really well made. So I started doing my research, and I'm like, that's the one I want, and I had him send it, and the first one was an unboxing of that and trying it out. So, oh my gosh, those videos are horrible. I still have them on the channel. They're like really cringy, but it was really fun to make. Hey YouTube, it's Cartoon Kid here with an unboxing of Spencer Alto C Black. It's a concert series. I got it from eBay, so this is going to be pretty exciting. I've been waiting for this for about a week, and I just can't wait. So I'm going to be making more videos, and I'll introduce myself and everything, but this will be my first video. It's an unboxing. I don't know what my voice sounds like on camera, because I've heard it before. It wasn't pleasant. And there goes the phone. And that was what really inspired me. It was just like my friend David, a little mix of Fred and SuperMac18, and just having the Ocarina and doing something and sharing it with people. And now after that, my inspiration is just I wanna share our joy with the world, and I also wanna soak in the joy that you guys bring too, and I wanna make this little community, and I want to share the things that I like with you. That's what I like to do. That's why I do so many unboxings and stuff, because I like to kind of just share with people. I want to tell people, because I don't have any friends around here. There's no one. It's a field of corn, and we've been moving so much we didn't have time to. I haven't met a peer in years, like someone that could, like, you know, my age, anything. There's just no one out there, so that we've seen. Maybe one day, but I have met a lot of great people online, like Cliff and Michelle and David. Yep, David. I think that's it. I can't remember anyone else. There's a lot of other people that I haven't like talked to a lot, but I've talked to them a little bit, but those are like the major people I used to talk to.
I think the reason we love the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit so much is because it shows who we were, who we are, and who we want to be. I know personally I used to be Legolas. I feel like I could do anything. Now I feel like Smeagol, Frodo and Bilbo after their journey. Tired, worn out, and sometimes struggling. I want to be Aragorn, strong, faithful, and adventurous. I'm not sure who you were or want to be, but you've been Gandalf to me for the longest time. Wise, encouraging, patient, but can get fed up with the stubbornness of dwarves or habits, nonsense, constantly guiding me, making sacrifices so your fools can fly. We disagree on many things. The more I develop a unique opinion, but in that same way, I am so much like you. When you put yourself down or wish you weren't tan, Spanish, or that you were smarter, I feel sad. I'm proud of you, of who my mom is. You strive to learn, be more faithful, become better. You're smarter than you know. Facts and knowing English do not make you smart. I can give many examples. I look forward to celebrating the day God blessed so many with your birth. I'm sorry my gift is so uncreative. I just feel worn out, but still want to show how much I love you. To my Gandalf, love from your Hobbit. You're also my Sam, but that's for next year. So
anyways guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. That is all I have to say. I think. And I'm gonna do something that I promised I would never do, but since this is the 1000th video, I said I would do it if I reach 1000. Here we go.